I hope all is well with you and your families. At least the weather has been really beautiful for this time of year, right? High 60s and 70s, lots of sunshine. It's almost like spring, right? In fact, Reverend Compton mentioned last week that his kids in New York were sitting in snow. And likewise, our son Michael, who lives in South Dakota, has been experiencing single-digit weather all week with minus degrees at night. In fact, today he sent us a screenshot where it's a minus 17 degrees. Oh, brr. We are truly blessed here in Las Vegas, aren't we? Besides our two parents' investment of heart and love to build a foundation for our success, the weather is nice as well. Anyways, today is a very special day, as Jonay said, and I would like to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day! Such a happy holiday, isn't it? It's all about the love. So, do you remember when you were small and going to grammar school, and when Valentine's Day rolled around, everyone made up their own Valentine basket to hang in the classroom? Made out of the construction paper, you picked your color, and then there was a board, you hung it up. Then our parents would buy us a bag of small Valentine's Day cards and maybe a bag of candy Valentine hearts, those little ones, had the little messages, be mine, love you, I'm yours. And we would write messages on the cards so we could put them in the baskets there at school. On Valentine's Day, we would have a little break and we'd have snacks. We'd collect our baskets and look at all the wonderful cards and messages. Sometimes we would get a special card with a special message. Did you do that in your school? Or maybe Sunday school? I remember looking back, it was kind of a fun time, and love is really special. It really affects everyone. I was trying to see what the origin of Valentine's Day is, and it seems actually it's kind of vague and somewhat debatable depending on which site you go to. However, from what I gather, Valentine's Day started around 500 AD. It was started by Pope Saint Gelasius I, and he was the third pope of the Roman Catholic Church. He named the day after Saint Valentine or Saint Valentinus. The holiday has origins in the Roman festival of Lupercalia, which was held in mid-February. The festival, which celebrated the coming of spring, included fertility rites and the pairing off of women with men by lottery, almost like our church. Maybe not. This is a special time where we honor our spouse with warm wishes, cards, a night out to dinner, and sometimes even gifts. I remember one year as Valentine's Day was nearing, Claudelina woke up with a start and I asked her, "What's the matter? Are you okay?" She replied, "Yes, but I just dreamed that you gave me a gorgeous and expensive diamond necklace for Valentine's Day. What do you think it means?" "Well, you'll know soon," I said. Then on Valentine's Day, I presented her with a famous small box. In anticipation, she excitedly opened it, only to find a small book entitled Dream Interpretations. She found out. Not really. I'm much wiser than that, and we've had some wonderful Valentine's Days over the years. I hope you have a chance today to express your love to your spouse, or also just to recognize great friendships. We can never have enough love, right? Well, the title of our message today is Developing the Realms of Family Love, Filial Piety, Respect, Chastity, Fidelity, and Unconditional Love, which comes from our February 2021 theme, Inheriting the Heart to Build Heavenly Parents' Holy Community. Wow, that sounds somewhat like a book, and I asked Jonay if he didn't have a longer title, but either way, let's see what we can do with this. Keep in mind that all this pertains to your family. It also applies to your heavenly tribal messiahship families. And at least it is a perfect day to look and talk about love, right? Right. So I'd like to begin by reading from Galatians 3:18 to 21, which are instructions for Christians' households. It says, wives, submit yourself to your husbands as is fitting in the Lord. This time, I'd like to make a little disclaimer. Wives, actually understand and support your husbands. And that comes from Ephesians 5:21, which says, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. We should treat one another with honor and respect. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. Children, I hope my son is listening, and daughter, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. Sounds like good advice, don't you think? Our two parents have taught us that the family is the school of love. And it is important to realize that, so we may develop our ability to love and to build a true family. Daniel Goleman, who developed and wrote about the concept of emotional intelligence, says that families contribute to people's emotional well-being, and further states that a person's character and destiny are determined largely by qualities such as altruism, empathy, and ability to love and be loved, which are developed initially in the family, the first school of emotional learning. But it isn't easy. In fact, Virginia Satir stated that developing a family is the hardest, most complicated job in the world. Wouldn't you agree? Virginia Satir was an influential American author and a psychotherapist. She was recognized for her approach to family therapy instead of individual therapy. Reverend Moon has said, what is the family? It is a training ground through which we can inhabit the ideal nation and world with love. Furthermore, it is a training ground through which we can even occupy the heavenly kingdom of God. He went on to say, those who have not loved will choke in the other world. They will not be able to breathe. The earthly life is a training ground that prepares you to be able to breathe in that world. Your family is the textbook of love. When you see somebody of your grandfather's age, you should think that you will love him even more than your own grandfather. When you see someone of your father or mother's age, you should welcome them, him or her, regardless of their nationality, or whether he or she is an outside person, or whether he or she is black or white. When you see a youth, you should love him or her like your own son or daughter. What is the kingdom of heaven? It is a place where you can love the people of the world as you love your family. And such people are the people of the heavenly kingdom. What do the 4 generations of your grandfather and grandmother, your father and mother, your husband and your wife, brothers and sisters, and your children make up? They make up a family, which is like a textbook to help you experience the true love of the universe as a person of the heavenly kingdom. You should know that the family, which is the textbook, is the foundation upon which you receive this teaching. Well, simply put, there are 4 realms of love in every family. And there is an orderly development of these realms of love. Since everyone starts as a child, we first develop a feeling of love towards our parents, or we call it receptive love. When another child is present in the family, the relationship of love between siblings develop. This is called mutual love, giving and receiving on an equal level. When a man and woman mature, a new realm of love develops. They may marry and enter a conjugal relationship. This is the power of true love. At this point, a man and a woman are ready to commit to themselves completely to one another. They devote their mind, body, and future to each other. This is the stage in which love truly blossoms. When a husband and wife have a child, they develop the realm of parental love, unconditional, sacrificial love. And these are the 4 stages of love through which each of us learns how to love. And yes, I realize there is a 5th realm, which is the love of grandparents. And I'm telling you, Claudia and I are really learning a lot about that. It is the greatest. Or as she puts it, adorable. So we need to develop the realms of family love, which include filial piety, respect, chastity, fidelity, and unconditional love. So let's begin with filial piety. In Confucian, Chinese Buddhist, Taoist ethics, and Korean tradition, filial piety is a virtue of respect for one's parents, elders, and ancestors. Filial piety is arguably China's most important moral tenet, a concept of Chinese philosophy for more than 3,000 years. Filial piety today entails a strong loyalty and deference to one's parents, to one's ancestors, and by extension, to one's country and its leaders. In general, filial piety requires children to offer love, respect, support, and deference to their parents and other elders in the family, such as grandparents or even older siblings. Acts of filial piety include obeying one's parents' wishes, taking care of them when they're old, and working hard to provide them with material comforts such as food, money, or pampering. This idea follows from the fact that parents give life to their children and support them throughout their developing years, providing food, education, and material needs. After receiving all of these benefits, children are thus forever in debt to their parents. In order to acknowledge this eternal debt, children must respect and serve their parents all their lives. This goes beyond the family. The tenet of filial piety also applies to all elders, teachers, professional superiors, or anyone who is older in age, and even the state. The family is the building block of society, and as such, the hierarchical system of respect also applies to one's rulers and one's countries, to our true parents, and ultimately, God and the cosmos. Our true mother, Hak Ja Han Moon, takes this one step further with Hyojung culture. True mother calls the culture of Cheonilguk, the kingdom of heaven, Hyojung culture. Hyo is the Korean pronunciation of the Chinese character Zao, meaning filial piety, and Jung, a pure Korean term meaning a deep connection of heart to one another. Dr. Thomas Sullivan, president of the Sunhak UP Graduate University, described Hyo as defining our vertical relationship to God and true parents, and Jung as our abiding connection of heart to brothers and sisters horizontally, extending to all humankind. Thus, to have Hyojung is to have a mind and heart developed to heaven and devoted to heaven. And that also connects us to everyone in our family and to our community and to our nation and our world and cosmos. Next is respect. Respect, which is also called esteem, is a positive feeling or action towards someone or something considered important. A feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, their qualities, or their achievements. However, from the divine principle, we realize actually our value comes not so much from our accomplishments, but our true value comes from being a child of God and our personal, unique reflection of God's character. We are all God's children, and each of us reflects a certain nature of God's personality, of his heart, of his love. And that's why we're special. And that's what is so deserving of respect. God sees each person quite differently from the way any of us do. In order to love a person as God does, you must first respect them. Respect entails looking up to a person despite his faults. The only way to do that is to humble yourself. Yet, when you inwardly feel arrogant, it is a sure sign that you either never felt respect for the person in the first place, or you have lost it. Yet, when you display humility and respect for your family, including brothers and sisters, you pump new vitality through the veins of your relationships with them. We need to realize that when respect fades, problems occur. When you no longer respect and admire a person, you tend to view him according to the dictates of society, rather than with God's viewpoint. You just see the stains on the clothing he's wearing, notice his hair is messy, and become offended by the way he behaves. You easily become disgruntled when he stands in your way, takes the chair you're going to sit in, or eats a piece of fruit you're planning to eat. Respect in marriage is first and foremost. It does not matter whether you are the husband or the wife, respect is crucial. Respect between parents and children is just as crucial to the wealth and health of a family. It is a thread that can bind all members in a family together. Without it, the family could easily be ripped apart. Next is chastity and fidelity. Chastity is a state or quality of being chaste. Chaste. Never put refraining from, actually, simply put, it's refraining from premarital or extramarital sex. However, it also implies restraint and being virtuous and ethical. A moral compass, so to speak, while fidelity is faithfulness to a person, cause, or belief, demonstrated by continuing loyalty and support. Reverend Moon says, your chastity is more precious than your life. You women are to open the historical path for your husband's love, your sons and your daughters' love, the nation's love and the world's love. With truth and sincerity, you should devote all your heart to the serious task of building the foundation upon which women's beauty, nobility, and emotional tradition can shine. And by the way, that applies to your men as well. Reverend Moon also says chastity before marriage and fidelity in marriage are of utmost importance. This is what I teach so people can live to their highest potential as human beings, creating and maintaining healthy families. Marriage is more than the simple coming together of man and woman. It is a precious ceremony of commitment to carry on God's work of creation, co-creators, so to speak. Marriage is more than the simple coming together of a man and woman. It is a precious ceremony of commitment to carry on God's work of creation. That's really important to realize. Marriage is a path by which a man and woman become as one, creating a new life and establishing true love. Through marriage, a new future is created. Societies are formed and nations are built. God's world of peace is realized with married families at the center. It is in the family that God's kingdom of heaven is brought about. So husbands and wives must be the centers of peace. Not only must there be love between the husband and wife, but the couple must also be able to bring harmony to their extended families. It is not enough that husband and wife live well together in love. All the relatives and those in your extended families must love each other as well. And finally, unconditional love or true love. Well, this one's easy, right? We've watched our true father and mother and their example. And that's always the main topic. But simply it's that you love no matter what. So I ask, can you love someone that lies to or about you? Can you love somebody that cheats you, steals from you, persecutes you, or worse? Can you love a drug addict, a prostitute, a Republican, or a Democrat? Maybe, if he or she is your son or daughter. I'm reminded of that overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. I have things in my life that I'm not proud of, don't we all? Up to and including my failures of being a blessed central family, of not fulfilling my 430 couples. Yeah. But still, I know that God loves me no matter what. My heavenly parent loves me and looks out after me. He still guides me. And I came to realize that after being a parent myself. For those of you that have raised children or spiritual children, you know that the heart of unconditional love for your children is the foundation to love all of God's children, no matter what. And if you love someone, you're concerned with their health and their well-being. What would you do to protect and raise up that person? Jesus said in Matthew 5:44, "But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you." And again, in John 15:12, Jesus said, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you." How did Jesus love us? Although there are many instances given throughout the New Testament. At the end, after being alone, mocked, and tortured, he gave up his life for us. In fact, John 15:3 says, "Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends." Ultimately, parents reflect God's love. That is how we are first introduced to God's love, a true love. Reverend Moon explains that even God is longing for true love. When we are bound together in true love, we can be together forever, continually rejoicing in each other's company. True love, the love that is God's essence, is heaven's only governing power. Accordingly, God exists for true love. When children who have received love from their parents and go outside and meet people their parents' age, they will feel close and they will try to talk with them and help them. When people who have a beautiful relationship with their brothers and sisters in their family go outside into society, they will easily get along with people and have close relationships with their neighbors. And they will feel natural, even relationships with the opposite sex. They come to feel that the opposite sex as their brothers and sisters without any sexual desires or unsound ideas. The kingdom of heaven is a family where you are able to experience such love relationships centering upon God. From True Mother's speech to the Women's Foundation Federation for World Peace in Asia in 1991, True Mother said this: "The word love has various meanings. However, I'm speaking here about true love, which refers to the absolute love centered on God. In other words, true love is to love someone who seems impossible to love. And thus, in true love, you have no choice except to love your enemies, Furthermore, true love is a sacrificial love of even giving one's own life for others. Therefore, in true love, the antagonisms and conflicts among individuals and among societies or nations are completely transcended and dispersed. With true love, we can achieve true peace. In closing, I think Valentine's Day is a great day to focus on love, true love. And we can see just how important the family is to develop our ability to love. And just as important is developing the realms of family love through filial piety, hyojung or heartistic admiration, with respect and looking at others as God does, chastity to be virtuous, fidelity to be loyal and supportive, and last but not least, unconditional love, to love at all cost, no matter what. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Happy Valentine's Day. May God bless you and God bless your families. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brother Greg. Wow, what a beautiful message on such an important day, on Valentine's Day. So brothers and sisters, I hope it all puts in perspective for all of us. Some of us, and forgive me for saying some of us are so young that we say, well, what does Valentine have to do with me? I'm so young. Well, it has something to do with us, whether you're 5-year-old or 95 years old. Today's message puts into perspective so what we're celebrating today, love, like through the virtues and the tenets that our beloved brother talked about. Love has so many virtues. And if we take that and then spread it to our brothers in our communities, throughout the spectrum, friends and foes as well, and thank you for that last part, being able to love truly or practicing true love, loving someone who seems impossible to love. That's love. So that's my takeaway today. And I hope, brothers and sisters, that throughout this sermon, that you got something to take away today and that you can use and apply into your life this week and throughout, the rest of your life. So, beloved Brother Greg, thank you for that great message on, this beautiful Sunday morning, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And should we say, oh, happy True Love Day, everybody? Because indeed, that's what we're called to practice. Like loving those who are close to us, loving those who are easy to love, loving those who seemingly don't deserve love or who are so hard or seem impossible to love. It was all about love. And let's go back to that root. Thanks again. With that being said, brothers, this concludes the sermon part of our service and leads us to the next part, which is our offering time. We want to encourage you this morning, brothers and sisters, to take a moment to reflect on the words that we received these mornings, the advice that we were given, the nuggets that we took. Some may be hard. We may be going through difficulties of our own, wondering whether love exists, whether it's possible or not. Yes, it is possible. Yes, it exists. And it takes conscious efforts, as we heard this morning. So please take some time to make your offering this morning. And yes, Reverend Lou, if we can bring that slide up, we list 3 ways through which you can make your offerings to our community this morning. The first one, of course, is a check. Some people like to write checks. So please take time to write that check. You can mail it to the address you see on the screen. And if you would rather just text the donation to the number you see on the screen, you may very well do so. And of course, some people don't want to do this every Sunday. So just go online and sign up for your monthly offerings at givingfuel.com. And again, the link is on the slides. Thank you, Brother Greg. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your offering this morning. And thank you again. Let's now move on to our announcements. And we have a few of them this morning. It's a special Sunday. Also, in addition to the announcement we'll be viewing this morning, we'll invite special guests, to talk about what has happened in our community. The first thing we'd like to encourage everybody to do is, of course, those who have expressed desire to become online community leaders, please do not forget to sign up. And there is another training coming up, and that's on February the 17th. And it's 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so our time. So please, 2 steps. First, sign up if you haven't done so yet. If you've done so, it's great. Second, please join your training session that takes place on February 17th. And I've heard some feedbacks about it's a very great training, provides you a lot of tools and support and how to be an effective community leader in the age of online meetings and online communities. Our next announcement is about a service project that is taking place this, not this Sunday, but on February 20th. And to tell you more about this, of course, the information is there. It's on the 20th. Let's invite Kana Takahashi to tell us more. Kana, are you here this morning?
Yes, I'm here. Hello. Hello, families. Happy Valentine's Day. Just a quick introduction. My name is Kana Takahashi. Currently a first year participant in GPA. But yeah, I'm just here to give an announcement that this Saturday on the February 20th, we're going to